moving the telling back to where we left off. Yes, I was talking about the jewels. I tell my friends that I'm collecting jewels from my crown. I'm running the race because my prize is Yeshua. Hallelujah. So I move around my space and my words inspire the movement. It is an improvisation and it frees one up in their dance, but not only the dance. I have many students who are in all different disciplines, and they have reported, they have testified, that it has released them into freedom and has brought them closer into what they were called to do. Yes, and so floor work is important. Floor work is actually the springboard for the dance. You see, a dance warm-up should be very easy, fluid, and it's on the floor, in the floor warm-up, that we learn how to let our body relax. We breathe in, we let the sounds out, stress falls off of our bodies, and our partner is actually the dance floor. And so that when we come to standing, our dancing is put together, so to speak. It's fluid movement. It's like a sentence that never ends. Adagio, staccato, and syncopation. Woo! Covering the space, traveling. I was talking last about self-control and patience. Self-control is a virtue. And it means controlling what we say, controlling what we think about, because if we don't, we will be on a downward spiral. Spiraling, and it's as if we're a victim and we can't get out. We're not victims unless we're 2 years old, and we are not in control of what happens in our lives. We are adults, and now we have to take responsibility for recovering from what many of us have been through, which was traumatic. But now, we're in a process, hopefully, a journey of healing. And they say, it's in relationships that you are hurt, but in relationships, you can receive healing. But relationships are a risky thing. Very, very, very risky. But God wants us to take that risk if they are anointed by Him. If they are not, bad idea, keep walking. Yes, because the enemy can use relationships to destroy your life. And I think we've all been there. You see, the body begins to loosen up after a while, after it's moving. Yes, and we can contemplate. We can feel, well, gee, what is the Spirit saying? What is the Spirit saying? What is the Spirit tapping into? Because you see, the Holy Spirit wants to move in and through us. You've heard it said it's easier for God to move a vessel that's already moving. Yes. So, we just listen for the Lord. What is God wanting to say? Yes, He pauses. Pauses are powerful if you mean them and you believe them. That's it. I had a teacher in college, James Payne Newman, who said, if you get nervous and you forget what you're supposed to do, pirouette. And so we were always pirouetting all over the place. But you see, there's a break-in period where you have to settle in and you want to get comfortable in what you're called to do. And in this case, we know the assignment is to move and allow the movement to inspire the story, and the story inspires My movement, I don't judge. I just come as a child, because the child gets the breakthrough, and that is always the way it is. The properly behaved adult does not ever get the breakthrough. I like to quote Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man is a snare, and surely that is so. The fear of man is a snare, and the only person you should be in fear of is God himself. God. He is the one to fear, and the scriptures say the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. So today, as I was reading Jeremiah 50 and 51 in the Tanakh, the Hebrew scriptures, God was stirring up a lot of things. And what I didn't know is that I needed to recover from the trauma of all the years that I've been in the church institution. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, a lot of us have tried to fit in, but we don't, because we are one of a kind, uniquely fashioned by the Maker himself. We're not called to try to fit in. And many of us, even in personal relationships, have tried to make things work that don't work. They don't work, and we've wasted precious time. We've gotten off track. We've been derailed, so to speak. Whoop. And God says, no, I don't have that for you. I don't want you to be derailed. I want you to be right in the center of my will. Right in the center of God's will. This is very, very important, to be in the center of God's will. Yes, breathing. Breathing is important. I tell my dancers, listen, you have to breathe. So, woo, let the sounds out. Praise the Lord, because you have to breathe. And when we speak aloud, we affirm our personhood in Yeshua. We are truly one of a kind. My passion and my life message. Life message, yes. Life message. 25 body parts. Adagio, staccato, syncopation. Ha. Yeah. Patience is a virtue. Long-suffering builds character. Perseverance. We all need to have a backbone. We all need to have a backbone. We need to have the conviction of God. And this year, I've had to make many decisions that were excruciatingly painful, but God allowed me to see the outcome, the fruit, so to speak, of standing for Him. And I don't stand alone. I stand rooted and grounded in the Master Himself. And He is the one who builds my character as I choose to hold on to Him. Because Him, God, Adonai, Elohim, the Almighty, is my source of life. There's no life in any other source. So tell your story. I encourage you, friend. Tell your story. Who are you? What were you made for? What are you supposed to do in this life? What are you called to? You need to start allowing who you are to come out. We are one of a kind. The church has oppressed many of us, and we haven't even known it. We didn't know that we were being controlled. We didn't know because the devil is slow and patient. All of us should be involved in the things that go on in the church. We are to come together and use our gifts. It should not be a leader or some leaders and them only, because we've fallen asleep. Wake up, God says, wake up. Wake up. Join the land of the living and start using your wonderful, awesome gifts that God has created you for. Let's use those beautiful gifts. Beautiful, beautiful gifts God has given to us for such a time as this. We're created in His holiness, created as His masterpiece, created truly unique and authentic. And I believe that we give God the greatest glory when we are true to who He has made us to be. Because as I said, we are one of a kind. 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 Yeah, come as a child. Come as a child. Because the child gets the breakthrough. The silly child gets the breakthrough. Yes, the child who doesn't care about what you think, the child gets the breakthrough. And we must get the breakthrough that we need. Must. It's essential. It's critical. Mamash Hashu. Very important in Hebrew. Yes. Come as a child. Come as a child. Get the breakthrough that you need. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to lift your voice. God says, sing to the Lord. Shout to God. Play the trumpet. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yes. Dance before the Lord. Play the instruments of praise. Shout. Shout. Shout to the Lord. Shout. 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 Shout to the Lord. Hallelujah. Affirm your personhood. Yes, so we have ripple dances. The movement can start here, but it can travel. And it can move up your body. It can start here and movement travels, learning how to connect. Connect all the movement. Dynamics of dance. 6 levels, belly and back. Level 2 on your knees. Level 3, straight up, bent knees. 4, 5 on releve. 6, a big jump. We have adagio, staccato, syncopation. Woo! 6 levels, 25 body parts. Let's use our body. Let's find a well of deep movement. Deep movement. Deep movement. Let's find the deep movement. All that we are. Let's be all that we are. Let's not be afraid of what people think. See, I think people are afraid of intimacy because they don't want their soul to be seen, as if we don't see people. We think people don't see us, but they see us because our greatest blind spot is ourselves. We just forget that. And I think it's kind of comical that we forget that. Ooh, whoop. Yeah, use your voice. Speak out. Sing a new song. Yes. The Holy Spirit wants to move through you. Holy Spirit wants to move. So if you think I'm silly, that's awesome. Because the Word of God says, what the world sees as wise, God says is foolish. And what God sees is wise, the enemy says is foolish. So it's the opposite. God's wisdom is the fool of man, and the foolishness of the world is the wisdom of God. Hallelujah. Oh, friendships. Friendships are essential, but real friendships, as I spoke about vulnerability, we have to be willing to take the mask off. Yes, before God, ourselves, and to other trusted friends. Not everybody is trustworthy, and we don't give our trust to people. They have to earn the trust. We all need to earn one another's trust. We need to earn the trust. Trust is a gift. Yes, God entrusts us with these wonderful lives that are unique, truly one of a kind and authentic. And so, we can entrust others as we see fit and as God shows us they are trustworthy. Worthy, yes. So we cover the space. We listen. Listening. Listening. If you allow God to move through your body, you will be set free. Shackles will fall off, and you will be thrust forward into your divine supernatural destiny. I can promise you this. I know this. I work with men and women, men into their 90s, all around the world, from Jerusalem to the nations. And men respond. Where many say, oh, boys, men, they're not going to do this. But they do, because that's the key that's in my hand. I am in my one-of-a-kind destiny. I am not replaceable. And neither are you, friend. Glory, the glory of the risen King. Put your hope and your faith in Yeshua, the risen one, the Kippura, the one who took all of your sins and made you new. And in Revelation 21:5 it says, He makes all things new.